to the triggered MRM feature, which is available on the LC Triple. The triggered MRM feature acquires dynamically additional secondary transitions, which can be useful. The advantage is that in addition to the target and qualifier, which I'll call primary ions, which are used for quantitation, in the case of TMRM acquisition, if the intensity of the primary ions exceeds some threshold, there will be an acquisition of additional transitions, I'll call triggered or secondary transitions, and those ion transitions are useful in spectral confirmation. So let's take a look at a specific example. Here we are looking at batch at a glance at heroin, and we're looking at the target, which is the transition of 370 to 58, and a qualifier seen in the qualifier overlay here of 370 to 165. So looking over at the spectrum, I see the 58 and the qualifier of 165, but I also see the trigger transition of 268, which is shown here in red. So I will show you that in an example of creating the reference library, which it's compared to, in a moment. Show you the demo. Here we have a couple of samples presented in batch at a glance, acquired with the TMRM mode in an LC Triple. So I will now create the reference library. So I'll go to the method editor, and I will trigger setup reference library. I will create those spectra from this sample. And now I'll go back. Let's get rid of the target, and we'll just look at the qualifier ratios and the spectrum. And as I showed in the slide, here's heroin, and we can see the 58 primary, 165 transition. But you'll also see the 370 to 181 and 268 transition, which are the triggered. And you'll see that against the reference library here, so you can compare those two spectra. You'll also see a calculated reference library match score, which is very high here. So that gives you an idea of the power of doing both MRM quantitation as well as library reference spectral confirmation, all within the same run. Thank you for your attention.